What is up, everyone? Gym Guys Podcast, episode 18. You could find us on Instagram as Gym Guys Pod or on YouTube, Gym Guys Podcast. We have an extra special guest for you with a great new company that we're all going to learn a lot more about, and I'm sure we're all going to want to go out and purchase it as well. And before we get to our special guest, I'm going to get to our co-host, obviously, Jason Budsock to my right or to my left. VP of Product Development for Animal for over 2 decades. He's got more things up his sleeve too, if you could imagine. So a huge wealth of information and a great just sounding board on all these podcasts. Blessed to know him and call him my friend. And speaking of friends, Eric Schwartz, proud owner, president, CEO. He's got the bicep shots. ISupreme does this all the time. And proud owner and president of Core Power. Really dog nutritional products. If you haven't tried them and used them, check out powernutrition.com. I could tell you the omegas alone are worth buying for your dog. They'll go nuts for their food. Probably have better skin, hair, skin, and nails, and a better coat, if you will.
I got something new for you guys coming.
And he's got something new. Chris Scotto, also known as Drago1850 and on Instagram, been a proud representer, owner, user of animal products for decades as well, since the days of selling them at GNC in the 1980s. Yes, I'm that old. But love the industry, love the people I'm able to do this podcast with. And speaking of being blessed, our next guest, really unique company. First of all, I want to talk about his service to our country, Marine Corps vet. Recently just graduated with a degree in criminal justice. I mean, this I'm only scratching the surface on what this guy's been doing so far. It's pretty darn amazing. The first husband-wife company that I know of that owns an energy drink company, first woman-owned energy drink company. This gentleman's wife's name's Toni Covington, and she's also a bodybuilder. So, I mean, just a lot of accolades here, a lot of achievements, and you can kind of see what kind of people are born and are built and are driven to start these type of businesses. Obviously, they've got successes in other parts of their life, and it's just a great thing. I know you're also one of the first approved brands as an energy drink for the upcoming Expo West in 2024.
Yes,
right?
sir.
The first natural energy drink. So that's pretty darn exciting, especially for just getting started. So
That'll be a good show for you guys.
yeah, it's an awesome show, awesome product. And again, without further ado, I want to introduce to you all ISupreme Watkins. Like I said, proud owner of Oktane Energy drink. And we're going to learn a lot more about his why, what inspired him, and what he's going to do to keep this going. He's got a lot of news for you. And speaking of news, before we dig into that, a couple of current events that we'll cover real quick. Certainly our thoughts and prayers for people in Hawaii. With what they're going through, right? I think we've all been watching it, and hard to digest what we're watching and as to why. So
I've been to Maui many years ago, but it was like paradise, man. Just can't imagine.
I was stationed out there for 2 years.
Oh wow!
Wow! From 08 to 2010. Yeah, so wow. it's wild to hear about like paradise like that, and like they took so much care of like their land and like their islands, and like they took so much pride in it. And seeing that like go up in flames, like no pun intended, is really sad to see, because of like they're really proud of their land and like, they take great care of it. So it is very sad to sit to hear.
Terrible tragedy.
Certainly our thoughts and prayers are with you. And I know obviously there's a lot of associations out there trying to raise money. One that's near to my heart, if you will, or that I'm familiar with, Tom Platz actually has a funding thing going on right now. If you search Tom Platz, I think because his wife is from Hawaii. So again, depending on how you want to help, that's just one source. But
Grant Higa also posted something the other day. So there's a fund. If you go on his Instagram, you can donate as well.
Former athlete of Animal, power lifter, guy defies gravity as well in his 50s. He's an incredible person and athlete. As far as anything else goes on a brighter point, I know Jay Cutler just celebrated his 50th birthday, and ISupreme, I know that's a little bit closer to your heart too, because I know you were doing some events with him. The guy looks ridiculous. He was just at the Anaheim Convention Center unveiling next to Regan Grimes. unreal.
One of the best dudes in the industry.
Yeah, he
I've seen
really
him
is.
at so many trade shows, and he never says no to anybody. He stands there and signs every autograph. Just this really nice guy.
And I got to see that firsthand. Like we're there, and you know, he's Jay Cutler, right? Like he's just walking around, no security, no name brand, anything. Just a pair of white Nikes, a t-shirt, and some shorts. And people are stopping him, and he's shaking everybody's hand, listen to everyone's story, which is pretty crazy to me because when I was in the Marine Corps, I actually was a big fan of animal products. Like that's kind of like what got me started, like animal, like muscle tech. But like my first two real products, like getting like really into it. I just started taking anything until I was like 19,
Wow.
20. And him and Dexter Jackson were like my two inspirations. I picked up a muscle mag, and I saw him and the blade on the front.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, listen, when I was in the Marine Corps, like I definitely wanted to look like you. Couldn't do it, but I tried my damnedest to do it. And he was like, he was great to talk to. And he's still in great shape. He's still solid as hell.
Yeah. He looked unreal. And you're right. You hit the nail on the head. Just a gentleman and a half. Never disappoints.
Might be the best ambassador in the history of the sport, besides like Lee Haney, who's super nice too. Like,
very true. Very true. And speaking of meeting people, before we get into it with ISupreme, we just came back from the Natural Body Block Party in Ozone Park, Queens. It's always a heck of an event. Steve and Tim just throw on a great event there. And I think we had over 50 vendors. I got to mix it up with a lot of people, a lot of great brands, a lot of great innovation. ISupreme, you definitely should try to be part of that next year. It's a smaller store on the corner of an older neighborhood, but man, they draw hundreds and hundreds of people.
What part of Ozone Park, Queens? Actually,
it's just north of the Belt Parkway on Cross Bay Boulevard, I believe. I might be messing that up because I just know how to go and I just turn like a robot and I know where to go. But yeah, it's in Ozone Park. It's like on a peninsula corner, if you will. Very crowded area, but people don't care. They show up and we pack it in, and it's nonstop for hours.
You're from New York?
Yeah, I'm from Brooklyn, but when I got out the Marine Corps, I moved back to New York, and I moved to Queens because it was like a night. I moved to Ozone Park, and I lived on 116 and 20th. And it was like one of those places where it's like you're still in the city, but you kind of get the suburb feel. So I kind of wanted that because I wanted to hustle and bustle, but I wanted to get back to like a nice quiet area.
Yeah,
so that's why I moved over there. It's a really great place. Like the people are always amazing, and the food ridiculous.
Can't beat it. I was born in Brooklyn, lived in Staten Island basically my whole life. Now I'm in Jersey.
Brooklyn?
East Flatbush.
I was born in Fort Greene.
Oh wow, wild, man. Small world, man.
Small world.
It is a small world. Yeah, so it definitely was a great event. If you don't know about it, check it out on Natural Body. You can find, search them Natural Body. It's not a plug or pitch for them, but a great event. They support the heck out of a lot of companies.
They're one of the best brick and mortar retailers in the country. Like,
yeah, it's an awesome event. And again, just got into mixing it with different pros and people. Seth Feroci, I love you. You're hysterical to talk to, tremendously entertaining. We had a lot of fun.
We almost signed him when at Universal. We had him fly in. We talked to him. We spent the day with him. Super nice guy.
And hopefully he's not in jail because he stole the Home Depot logo for the new Axe and Sledge shirts. So
boy,
I saw that.
I go, you might want to get used to wearing orange, man.
Oh boy.
So enough of that experience. It was awesome. We love going to shows and expos and interacting with customers. And I think that's what you're going to find ISupreme's all about. So again, the floor is yours, sir, to talk about your brand and your dream and how you got to all this.
Yeah, no, thank you for the great introduction, Chris, Eric, Jason, for bringing us on. I definitely feel connected with each and every one of you in like some way, shape, or form because when I was growing up and like going through the industry, like really young, like individuals like yourself, like led products that I really leaned on and everything. So it's actually pretty cool to join. I didn't know that. So it's amazing to hear that like in the moment, how in depth and everything is. But as far as my wife and I think the best way to start it is one time she came home, like my wife, she's a big idea person, right? Like she thinks huge. Like there's no idea too small. There's nothing that she doesn't think she can do, right? She thinks she can do everything in the world and she can accomplish anything. So she was never a big energy drink person. I drink energy drinks because I was in the Marine Corps, of course. We lived on caffeine, right? Like caffeine is what kept us alive, like in all ways, shape, or form, right? So so I was big into it. So one day she came home and she said, why do people walk around with cans in the gym? Mind you, she's a bodybuilder. She's in the gym a lot. She knows about supplements, but she just didn't really understand the concept. I said, well, it's an energy drink. I'm like, sometimes people don't want to drink the whole can, right? Like they'll sip it through their workout. Then I took her to a powerlifter meet because I'm a powerlifter as well. And she
Oh, we'll
like
talk about that.
that
Cool.
kind of stuff and everything. I was like, yeah, like they'll sip it because you don't want to do too much because all the events are so spaced out. So she, oh, okay. So then started educating her on it, and the next thing you know, she said, I want to create my own. I was like, all right. I said, well, let's have a conversation about it. Like, how are we going to start this? And her initial thought process was she wanted to create something else for everybody, right? Because not to name any other brands, but we all know each brand has a specific target audience that they're looking at, right?
Sure.
And it's not because they're trying, it's just like it's just something that's naturally happens, right? So every brand has like their target, but she wanted to create something that was for everyone to enjoy and didn't have a specific stigma behind it. And it was also natural with limited amount of ingredients in it, right? So therefore people can know what's in it and not have to do a bunch of research to kind of get to the bottom of it. And then on top of that, we were just boyfriend and girlfriend. We weren't engaged yet. And I wanted to marry her. I knew I wanted to marry her probably like on our third date. But I'm like, I'm not going to be that guy to propose after 3 days. I need to wait this one out.
Good call.
I waited out a little bit. And then once we actually had the conversation, she said, I don't want a ring. I'm like, you sure? She was like, I don't want a ring because a ring doesn't really do anything for me. She's like, a ring doesn't do anything for the family, right? It's only benefits me. I want something that's going to benefit everyone. So I found a beverage company that creates energy drinks, and they create beverages of all sorts. Drink Labs, amazing company. I called them when she didn't know, and I asked them how much would it cost for us to get a formulation, right? To get our own ingredients, to get our own formula and everything. And they gave me a price. I said, perfect. I paid them, and they sent the contract. I then contacted a photographer, and I said, listen, we're going to do a business shoot. Don't say anything. And we're going to have everyone line up behind us. And I want you to just keep taking pictures while she's clueless and oblivious, not knowing what's going on behind us. So I took everyone to the park that we went to when I initially we first really got together, right? Like we were made it official. I'm like, this is a great place to start again. So I had signs created, and I had our family stand behind us with signs. So while we're taking business photos for Oktane for promo, because we knew we wanted it, they were standing behind us holding up pictures saying, Toni Marie, will you marry me? And wow. I had her turn around, and she turned back around, and I was sitting, and I was on one knee, and I proposed to her with the contract to the energy drink. So that's how we got started, and that's what Oktane comes from. Because she wanted something that was good for the family, and the energy drink was good for the family because even though we have a bigger team now, but the original team was myself, the 2 kids, Toni, and we had a graphics design person, right? And that was it. That was a full team. We packed all the orders ourselves. We created the promo. We did everything. We traveled. We packed the cars up. We drove from Maryland to Texas and back. We were a small team, and we wanted to build something for the family, teach the kids about business, involve them in everything so they can understand it, because it's something that you really can't buy. You can't buy that kind of information to see hands-on how to get started, and that led us to where we are now.
All right, I got questions, man.
Go for it.
I
left a lot of space.
Yeah, did you guys realize what a monster competitive category you guys were entering into?
Yes, we did. I'll say we realized it, and I think the first time it really became a big realization was our first partnership was actually with USPA powerlifting in Maryland, right? And the guy and Jim, he said, yeah, you can come set up. We didn't have a drink yet, because we were just selling apparel and clothes, because we were in the middle of creating our drink, but we wanted to keep everyone's attention, get people's attention. So we came out with a clothing line first with Oktane all over it, and we would go to these events and just give out clothes, and we would give stuff out, and we would sell clothes, because that's one way that we were able to really get people's attention. So we go there, and I see Rain there, right? And I'll admit, I was a big Rain fan before I had my own energy drink. I loved the can. It drew me in. but I'm like, I have my own now, so I can't run from the competition. So I set up a table right next to Rain. So they were like, "You got some balls." I'm like, we're gonna have to butt heads eventually, right? Like, I love the product; it's a great product, but I have my own. I have to, you know. So I set up a table right next to Rain, and every time we did anything, I made sure to make ourselves known to these other brands, because it's very competitive, and not in a disrespectful way, right? Because we're not a messy couple, right? We don't like to go out there and do nonsense, right. but we're both competitive. Like, I was in the Marine Corps. I come from a big family. My wife, she's very competitive, right? And we want to, like, thrive in a market that is dominated by drinks that's been around for 20 plus years, right? Like, it's hard.
Two more just popped up this week. Two more. I mean, it just seems like every week somebody's coming out with a new energy drink. Just to backtrack a little, what year did you start this company?
So we started in 2021. 2021 is when we started. So we went to formulation in November of 21. The planning and everything started in July of 21. Formulation started in November, and then our first drink actually launched in June of the following year.
So for our audience, I did try it. I did a review on my Instagram and my TikTok. I liked it. I mean, the flavor was great. I tried the mango one, which I actually think I like the mango one better. You have the watermelon kiwi, which is really good too. How many total flavors do you have?
So we have two. So we have two total flavors now.
So I did try both. Okay.
And we're coming out with another one with we have a special partnership we have with our third flavor that's going to be unveiled. I'm pretty sure people saw the can. If you looked at our Instagram, you see a can with like a purple can with some flames going off of it. So we'll unveil the whole design closer to Olympia.
So the packaging is very unique. I like personally that it's a lower caffeine option. It's 100 milligrams a can. Is that right?
Yep.
I love that because one, you can have multiple sources of caffeine in a day and still have this, right? You can drink a few of these. You can still have a cup of coffee. You can still have your pre-workout and you're not overloading on caffeine for the day. So I personally like that a lot. I don't like the 350s, 300s that start there. Tastes great. Tell us a little bit more about it. Like, what are the other properties of the drink besides the taste, the caffeine?
So it is zero sugar, 0 calories, and like you said, 100 milligrams of caffeine, and that was pretty important because we wanted something that people can relate to, right? More people drink coffee than drink energy drinks, right? And our can is equivalent to a cup of coffee, right? A single cup of coffee, so 100 milligrams of caffeine, which is important because just like Eric said, the average person should not intake more than 400 milligrams of caffeine a day. No one knows this, right? I'm not saying no one. Most people don't know it. I didn't know it. And like I can definitely tell you, I probably drank 600 to 900 milligrams of caffeine on some days and not realize the damage I'm doing to my heart.
I think Jason does that too. Jason's a closet stim junkie. He doesn't say it, but I've seen him.
I've slowed down also over the
I've been in the office with him.
He's been dry scooping on the side when you haven't been looking.
Yeah.
see, and that's the thing, right? Like, so I'm not really judging people, and like when I say this, I don't want people to think I'm like trying to like force education on them. Just giving a justification why our can has lower amount of caffeine. And if you look at other countries, right, like we're looking to go into like Canada.
Okay, Canada, so now that's really very smart.
Strict. Yeah,
really strict with the caffeine, right? The UK really strict with the caffeine, and we don't have any colorings or dyes either because that's also something around the world they frown upon. So we wanted something to be completely natural. So remove the color, remove the dyes. And the funny thing is, right, so our can is sweetened with sucralose, which in Canada is like natural, right? But in America, it's not natural.
Yeah.
Monk fruit is. So our formula, our new formula, and this is what was approved by Expo West, was our new formula that has monk fruit. So we have.
So you did make a little change then.
So we had to make
that's a change.
But that was the only change, right? The only change we had to make was the monk fruit. So so if we get into Canada, which is we're really pushing heavy for it, we're like we have to keep the sucralose option for Canada, but for the American option,
so monk fruit in Canada is not.
Natural. It's not considered natural in Canada.
See, I did not know that. That's learning something.
That's something that we've learned because we actually spoke with a distributor in Canada. So he's based out of Toronto. And he gave us that information. He said, so we told him to change what we're looking to make because we want our drink to be completely natural and not have any question marks about it, right? So we showed him our new formula. He said, well, yeah, the monk fruit is maybe good for the US, but for Canada, it is not looked at the same way. Like the sucralose is considered natural in Canada, right? So we're like, okay, well, we'll just keep if the Canadian border is open for our drink and we go over there, we'll keep the sucralose option for Canada, but for the US, we're gonna do monk fruit.
Interesting. So it's good. I mean, that means you guys were thinking well ahead, you know, that strategizing that you were going to go international before, you know, when you launched the company. So
well, and honestly, I really like thank Drink Labs for that, right? Because they gave us an option. Like Ann from Drink Labs said, you can pay me to do it for you, or I can give you information for free. We said, okay, like we'll do it. We'll take the information for free, so like we can learn about it because we wanted to not only push your energy drink, right? We wanted to be well versed in it. So if someone asks us a question, we know about the process, we know what went into it, like every single thing about the energy drink, other than getting in the lab and mixing it, we've done, right? Like we've done every part. We ordered the ingredients, we've met with each and every person, we researched the ingredients, we sat down and we met and like we spoke with the people who created the formula to further understand it. So therefore we can actually have deeper conversations with people rather than like having our mouths open at an event, because that's the worst thing. And that's kind of a bad feeling. I learned that in the Marine Corps. You don't want to stand there and like not have an answer, right? It's the worst feeling in the world that you can't like answer a simple question.
Right. From what I understand, if somebody was looking to start a business, the minimums are pretty high. Did you guys have to have a very high minimum with the drinks?
So no, so we didn't. The first couple of places that we contacted, I'll just say the number, like they were asking for like $65,000, $70,000, $80,000.
Holy shit.
Right. Wow. And we were like, no, because and honestly, we didn't take out any loans. We completely funded the drink.
I was gonna ask you. So this is your company's bootstrapped and you and your wife own it 100%?
100%. We no loans, no investors. We worked from bottom to top, like on our, and that's what we wanted. We wanted to do that. We wanted to not, because in case it didn't, like, even though you don't plan for failure, but you have to take that into account when it comes to business, right? And we didn't want to owe a bunch of people money if it was too slow. We knew we weren't going to fail, but if it was like taking a little slower to get up the ground and to sell and to spread we didn't want people on our backs, and we wanted to be completely in control.
Cool. Me and my wife are doing that with Paw Power. It's you know, it's a little bit of a struggle because cash flow is an issue, but we feel like the slow and steady way, then we'll own it 100%, and we feel like that's the way to go.
Yeah, and you know the saying, like what's built lasts longer than what's born. So build it up, and it's going to have a stronger foundation. Then you're going to look back at it. It's like we do now. Like we still have a long way to go, but every time like we have like some success and we keep climbing up, we'll laugh about the times where we said we wanted, like we, instead of paying for flights and paying for our stuff to get shipped from Maryland to Texas, we drove 24 hours straight there and just to sleep just to be there for one day. And then 24 hours straight back, right? And so we laugh about that now, and I was miserable because I was doing most of the driving. She was she was not. I was absolutely miserable. But yeah, it's moments like that where you laugh about it and you kind of appreciate it, right? But you don't get those if you don't go through the ups and the downs.
So where are you guys located right now?
In Maryland.
In Maryland. And is that like the warehouse is there and everything, or is it warehouse somewhere else?
So our warehouse and everything is in Montgomery County, Maryland, is where we're located. So like maybe like 20 minutes north of DC. Our co-packer is actually in Colorado. So what happens is after they put like can our drinks and they ship it over to us in Maryland, and we house it in our warehouse, which is actually where I'm sitting right now.
So do you use distribution to get the products out there, or are you working with a distributor?
So yes, so we have two distributors at the moment. Our main distributor is actually based out of Maryland. They do most of like the DC, Maryland, like Northern Virginia area. Mm-hmm. So we're in Sunoco, BP, Shell, Valero, Marathon, 7-Eleven, ExxonMobil, and we're in like a few shops in the DC area as well.
Okay, so like when you say 7-Eleven, because we saw that on the website, so Chris and Jason both ran out to their
We were
local
looking for it.
7-Elevens, but they couldn't find it. So is it only in Maryland right now in
Yes,
7-Eleven?
Did try, we did
So
try.
it's only in a DC area, but
You should have went to DC, Chris. It's only like a 5-hour drive.
Hey, man, when it
But-
comes to subs, I do anything, so.
but that's going to change soon, right? We have some more stuff in the works, and we're actually working on expanding. So we're actually like talking with people and expanding more, because what they wanted to do was they want to see how we would sell in our
Test,
market,
right.
and then expand out, right? So after we conquer the market in here, like in our DMV, then we're going to start expanding out. But we are in gyms in Texas, and we are in Powerhouse in Vegas, and we're in L&M Fitness in LA, and we're in Crunch Fitness in PA. So we're scattered in like a bunch of like different, and we're also in Apex Nutrition, which is down in South Carolina as well. So we're scattered around in different places, but as far as like the main like chains that everyone would know, mainly in the DMV for now, but that's definitely going to change over the next couple months.
I'd like to see you in Wawa in New Jersey so I could grab some.
Listen, that would be great. I was at Wawa's yesterday when I was headed home and I was hurting, so I stopped by Wawa's for a little pick me up.
Yeah, I like Wawa. Yeah, so that's cool. Are you doing like the sales? Are you the guy like calling these accounts, or how's that work?
Yeah, so doing boots on the ground all the way. So even when we got with our distributor, I actually went out with the sales team every day and went to each account and met with the people at each account and described the drink to them, spoke about the drink, told them about our background. And I did that every day for like 3 weeks. I was going with the sales team and going with everybody, and like talking about the drink, meeting with all these different accounts, and really going more in depth. And that's something that I'm a career recruiter, right? So I'm used to talking, right? I'm used to like meeting new people. It can get kind of draining and exhausting, but it's also kind of exciting, right? Because now, rather than pushing like a company that I worked for, now I'm discussing like my baby, right? Like something that like I'm really passionate about. Yeah. Exactly. So I get to really share with people. So I get super excited, and it's like it never gets tiring. Like, or if I do get tired, I'll sit in the car and I'll crack an Octane and I'll sip it.
I was just gonna say,
It's a great commercial.
It's a great pick me up.
Exactly. My dream though, and Toni's not coordinated to do this. I want to do like a promo where like she tosses me a can and like kids toss me another can. I slam it together like Stone Cold, like pour it down my mouth.
Love it.
But see, we tried it. It doesn't work because her throwing skills aren't there. But I'm hoping to try one.
That's great. That's awesome. What's your main form of marketing? Are you guys doing Facebook ads? Where are you doing marketing?
So initially it was Instagram, right? Instagram and Facebook marketing was huge. Like I didn't realize how big Facebook marketing was until we got into like the energy drink. Yeah. And then it went from there to we joined a program with Amazon, and then I went through a few classes with Amazon to learn more about like the marketing and how to properly market their products on the store and everything. So then it went from Instagram and Facebook over to Amazon marketing, and I learned how to like work the algorithms in Amazon and kind of really like work it, which is it's a lot of things that I never knew to do, and like I would have never known if they didn't put me through the class, like certain keyword operators and like how to like check the impression and see what keywords are attracting the most people, and how you can cross use keywords and kind of like pull from all different audiences. It's actually pretty crazy.
Amazon's a good thing, but it's also a frustrating thing. As you know, they take so much damn money. I'm on Amazon with my stuff too. We move units, but we don't make a lot of money on there. But
you have to stay on it, right? Like I know they said that it updates every Monday, right? So every Monday is when it updates, right? So I get on like throughout the week. I try to get on it, but every Monday I'm on it, and I'm checking to see which words are working, which words are not working. Because if you're not checking it, you don't waste the money. Right? It's just flushing down the toilet at that point.
I'm looking on Amazon, right? So I see your stuff on here. You sell the 6-packs, 24-packs. So I can tell you that Celsius and another drink called Gorgie, I've never heard of them, but they're targeting your keywords, because when I typed in Oktane, they came up as sponsored ads. So they're targeting. I know how that works. It's very competitive, but your stuff's there on the first page, so you're doing the right, you're definitely doing the right thing there.
Yeah, it's like it's one of those things where if they're targeting it, that means you're doing something right, right?
Yep.
So
Yep. Are you on any other e-commerce platforms, Walmart.com or anything?
so not on Walmart.com, not as of yet. So just on Amazon and on our website, OktaneEnergy.com. Those are the main two places you can find us at the moment, other than the handful of stores that not handful, well, like the 30+ stores that we're in the DMV, and then looking to with our new distribution, looking to go into some NFL stadiums as well. So more info.
Wow.
We're meeting with a new distributor called Delaware North in Buffalo, New York.
I've heard of Delaware. They're here in New Jersey.
Yeah.
They work at Red Bull Arena. They work at, I think, MetLife. I'm not sure, but they're at Red Bull Arena. I know that. Well, you'll never get it at Red Bull Arena because that's Red Bull's stadium.
Listen, I'm a Giants fan, so give me a MetLife.
MetLife, yeah, man. Shit.
There you go.
Yeah, make it happen. But yeah, so that's our next we're sponsoring Buffalo Wing Fest Labor Day weekend. So while we're up there,
very cool.
Drew Surza, who is an amazing guy, he I reached out to him just to see if we can sponsor. He said, yeah. So he gave me a call. He sent an email, then called me. And it was like out of the blue. And like I didn't know what to say to do. I was kind of starstruck because I was going to his Wing Fest when it was like smaller for a while. And like I remember like slamming wings and like drinking in the stands and then going back out and drinking again and eating more wings. And I was like, now like I'm professional now. So now I get to go down and actually set up a booth, and he's been a great help, right? He said, can you send me some samples? So I sent him a box of samples, and then he took those samples and he like shopped it around to the distributors in the Buffalo area. And then he shopped it around to the people that work on Highmark, which is the Buffalo Bill Stadium, and he got us a meeting. So
wow,
2 birds, 1 stone.
Wow, that's great.
Tremendous, man. If you're getting some NFL stadiums, shit.
A lot of grassroots effort right there, man. That's awesome and paying off.
Yeah, it'll be great.
What's the vision of Oktane Energy? Is it something that you want to stick to just the energy drinks? Is this other products that you want to expand into?
We do want to expand. I was actually speaking with someone at the Jay Cutler Classic that we where we're at, and like next to us it was like a supplement. Well, we're in between 2 supplement stores, and we actually got into one of them. We just hit it off there. He said, "Hey, can I buy 2 of your cases and put in my store?" And then he bought 2 cases on the spot. And but he was asking, he asked the same question. He said, what do you want to do as far as products go? And honestly, one thing that we're working on is outside of the surprise product, we're working on something that's more non-stem, right? Nootropics, because that's nice. A big thing.
Love that category, man.
Exactly. So that's our next thing. And how we got into that was we did a live segment called PA Live up in Scranton, PA. And one of the guys that was doing a live segment, like he did a segment before us, he has a shop, or he has a store, well, I guess you can call like a clinic called like Elevation Wellness. And they do a lot of like recovery stuff. He does IVs, he does a lot of stuff with athletes to help athletes recover. So he asked us, he said, "Hey, can you want to create a drink together?" He said, I don't want to create one, but I want to partner with you guys. I heard a lot of great things about you guys, and I would love to partner with you and create a drink. He said, and then he kind of like educated us on nootropics, and then like what's the best ingredients, and then we took it to Drink Labs and we asked them, is it possible and how would it taste? And they shot us back some stuff, and yeah, we're going to move forward with it. So that's one thing we're doing, more like a recovery drink.
I would love one that's non-stim that you could drink several times a day, because most of the nootropic products, they add caffeine, which is a complementary ingredient, but I would love one that I could take later in the day or at night. You know, it just helps with focus.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we're doing.
And like Chris said, before this call, he's going to be training tonight, and you got to watch your stims then. So that would be perfect for that nighttime workout or pretty much any time. And
just a half a scoop.
Not worried about it crashing. That's really cool. Just half a scoop.
Or being up to 2 a.m. staying at the damn ceiling.
Yeah, or that.
No, that's a good point. Yeah, definitely nootropics is something I've been enjoying, whether it's been, Jay's products through Animal, that have a lot of those properties in them. I mean, they're just very noticeable. And when you're looking at spreadsheets and you're working and you got to collect thoughts and you got to speak, it really does. It really helps things click. It's a great category.
No,
All right.
absolutely.
All right, ISupreme. So you said you're a power lifter. Jay and I have both competed, so we want to talk. I want to know a little bit about your powerlifting. What's your best numbers?
So we're talking competition, right? Like not
Yeah,
like
competition, not gym lifts. Gym lifts don't count.
that sucks.
That sucks. He goes,
Because my gym bench was like in the fours, but a
Shit.
competition,
The
Oh,
fours.
I think bench was 341.
Okay, that's
So
very solid and way more than Jason's ever done. So
my bench 341, my squat was, I want to say 540.
yeah,
And then deadlift was 511. I think it was 511. So
nice.
let me explain, right? So it's a little bit explain. No excuse, a little bit explaining. So I had a back issue that I wasn't aware of, right? So my first competition I got Bambi legs. So like as I'm deadlifting, my legs start shaking, and I thought I was just tired, right? And then when it got checked out, oh well, you have a flat tire in your back. And then I did another competition.
What does that mean? A flat tire?
My disc was flat.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
So was it
So
pinching a nerve? Like, is that what it was happening?
it was, yeah. So it was so
Shit.
it's impeding on my left side. So now, like last year, I really got it looked at. So I haven't competed in like 3 years, 2 or 3 years, because I was working on like getting my back together. So I think this medal was from my last competition actually, and so I haven't competed in a little while, but I had to get a medial branch therapy where they burnt the nerve endings because they didn't want to do any kind of surgery on my back because I'm young and they wanted and they wanted to try some other things and see if it works first. So now I'm thinking about competing again. I'm feeling good, and my bench is gracing the 400s, and I'm like, okay, like my deadlift is terrible, but it's getting there. But I definitely think I can. I love squatting. I love deadlifting, so it's painful that I couldn't do neither one of those things with my back. But
Right.
I'm feeling pretty good now. Like the doctors are hooking me up. So I would love to get back on the platform and drive my wife crazy.
What weight class did you compete at?
So I was 242.
Okay.
So I
How tall are you?
6'3".
Oh, so you're tall.
Wow. Wow.
You're a
Yeah.
big dude.
That's
So,
okay.
so I competed at 242. Now I am the highest I've ever been. So last year I got up to like 285,
Wow.
and now
Big.
I'm back at two for like 48.
Okay. And Toni, your wife, has competed in bodybuilding competitions?
Yeah, I think her last competition was in 2017.
Cool.
So she has competed, and now she turned from being a competitor, and she's so knowledgeable about the whole game that now she kind of like coaches some people. Like some people like come to her asking for help. She coaches them, like even people in the gym now, right? Like they'll come and they'll say, hey, can you help me with this? And she'll help them out. And like we go to events, and like she's just like so in the moment, and like she's just like she loves watching it. She loves being around it. So it's still like very much a passion of hers, but she doesn't want to compete, but she wants to support and like and continue to like help the other competitors grow.
Cool. So this is, I mean, you guys are the real deal. Like you guys aren't just business people. You live this lifestyle, and that's what makes it like even like more authentic and cool.
Yeah, it's something and like that's the thing, right? And that's something that someone told us. Like I remember we worked Olympia, which for me it was heaven because behind us was the powerlifting meet, right? Behind our booth, right? So I loved hearing like the weights clinging and clanging. I love hearing the announcements. It was like get me all fired up. And but in front of us was a bunch of competitors, like people, like regular people, competitors, and everyone's just like coming up and asking us about our drink. They're fascinated with us. And then we have these big brands. We have BSN across from us. We had Rain down that way, Celsius over there. So we're in a mix, right? And like that was our first feeling like we made it. And we felt and like we didn't know really how to take it, right? Because we felt like regular people because this is our business, this is our baby. We're the workers, we're the financiers, like we're everything. So it's hard to really like see the fruits of the labor. And I remember someone was just standing like off to the side. I didn't know who the guy was. I remember him just standing there watching us, and he said, And once the crowd kind of like died down a little bit, and like once we got rid of like the wave of people that were coming up buying drinks and like sampling, he said, "You and your wife work really well together, and it's impressive." And I was like, "No, it's just what we're doing. Like it's what we have to do, right?" And this guy, I still talk to him to this day because he's really connected in the supplement space, Dave Siegel, and he does like clinical trials out in Vegas, and he's very knowledgeable, and he passed over so much information to us. He gave me his card. I shot him an email, and we just been in contact since. But that was the first time I really thought about it, right? Like we're like we do work well together, and I think what helps us is the fact that we're passionate about it, and we also love what we do. We love the product, and it's something that we care about, and we don't want it to be something that people like that people just like take and we're trying to like push on. We want them to know about the product. We want them to love the product, and we appreciate seeing people's smiles and like seeing like the happiness that people feel when they do actually try it.
Love it, man. Love to see passionate people do their thing. So, are you guys going to be at the Olympia this year?
So we're going to be there as spectators. We're actually not setting up a booth at Olympia because we're pushing our focus to. We have a few other events coming up. We have obviously Buffalo Wing Fest, which is next month.
Tell the audience where you're going to be, so in case somebody.
So we're going to be at Highmark Stadium Labor Day weekend, 2nd and 3rd of September. Buffalo Wing Fest. Love great place. Like if you like wings and you like people and you like alcohol,
we should go. Get all three. We should take a road trip.
We should.
Listen, if y'all want to go, I have some
the mixer.
I'll send y'all some tickets. Like, don't tempt me.
You said that's up in Buffalo?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a bit of a ride. Little ride, Jay.
Road trip though.
For us, it's like 6 hours. It's like 6 hours for us, like six and a half, because we cut through Amish country. Like we go through West Virginia and then PA, like far West PA, then we're in Buffalo. So it's a nice drive, and just to go a little deeper, we don't shy away from doing anything. Like last night, I was at a car show, right? I was invited to a car show. I was at a car show selling Oktane, so it doesn't matter. I'll go anywhere.
Yeah, do it, bro. I've done a bunch of even little events. You might just meet that one person, that one connection that could change something, man.
And that's what happens, right? Because the one connection we met at the car show, he wants to put us in clubs and bars and stuff like that. So it's like you just never know. And like this like the goal is to like connect with genuine people, connect with good people, and then it's like let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah. So when I do events for Paw Power, it's a I mean, we don't have to sell stuff. It'd be great. Like it's a bonus if we sell stuff, but it's more about the networking. It's more about just getting the name out there.
What kind of dog do you have? Or dogs, plural? Which one?
I have 4. It's a little crazy in my house. So we have a big French Mastiff, their Turner and Hooch dog.
Yep.
We got one of those. And then we have 3 pit mixes, and they're all mixed with different things. It's kind of crazy, and you have to be a little crazy to have 4 dogs. But
listen, that's the kind of crazy I like. So I love dogs. I grew up with dogs my entire life. So my wife, Toni, like at first she was hesitant, right? Because I have a border collie, right, who is too damn smart. Like he is probably like my best.
Very smart. Shit.
He's my best and worst dog, right? He's done escaped my apartment before Toni and I like got together. He's about to turn 9 in September.
Wow.
He's escaped so many times trying to find me, and like I would get phone calls from people. I remember one time I just moved into this apartment. I moved to the 9th floor, right, and I went to take the U-Haul back. The U-Haul was down the street. Between me dropping him off in my apartment and going to bring the U-Haul back to the U-Haul place down the street, like 5 minutes tops. I come back and there's a sign on the front door saying, if you're missing a white and gray dog with a Marine Corps bandana, he's in apartment 901. I was like, this damn dog. And of course, Marine Corps bandana.
Yeah.
So I
crazy smart.
So I go up and they were like, I knock on the door. He starts barking and going crazy. And as soon as she opens the door, he comes running through. She's like, oh, he must be your dog. I said, yes, this is my dog. And like, that was one time he ran away. Not ran away, but he was like searching for me.
Yeah.
The worst time was when my mom came to visit when I was living I still live in Maryland, but I was living closer to Baltimore. I was living in Columbia. My mom came to visit me, and I took her to like medieval times. So we were gone for like a good amount of time. And I come home, and I see a note slid under the door, and it was saying, "I don't know if you have a dog, but there's a dog in your apartment." I'm like, "Of course I have a dog, right?" So I just ignored it. And within like 5 minutes, I hear a knock on the door, and it's these two women came up and said, "Hey, do you have a dog?" And like clockwork, Rocky comes, runs up, and sits next to me and wags his tail. And she was like, "Is that your dog?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's my dog." She was like, "Well, I don't know if you knew this or not, but he got out of your apartment. He was walking around the hallway playing with the kids. And as soon as an adult came near him, he ran away, ran to your apartment, and locked the door behind him."
Oh my God, so smart,
Wow.
man.
I was like,
Wow.
and like I still have both of the notes. Kind of like no one would ever believe me. So I have the
That's amazing.
notes. I kept them and I framed them. I'm
Yeah.
like, because it's like you can't believe it. And then another time, my rent office, they called me and said, "Hey, don't be alarmed, but your dog is in the rent office, chewing, eating snacks." I'm like, so I had to like double bolt like all of my doors and like have all these extra measures to keep him
Too
from
funny.
trying to escape. Because what he does is he watch like whatever you do, he'll
Mhm.
watch it and he'll repeat it. So if he sees you go out like go
Ah.
for a handle or go for like a deadbolt lock, he'll
Yeah.
target the lock and he'll
I
repeat it.
see.
And I
That's
found
smart.
out because I put a camera to the door to see what he would do, and
Right.
that's exactly what he did.
So smart. So you just have one, or do you have more than one?
We just have one. Once the baby, so my wife is pregnant. The baby
Oh
is
wow!
due
Congratulations.
in February.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats.
So she's 11 weeks, right? So I don't want to bore you out with a story, but this is actually I felt a simple like some kind of accomplishment. So yesterday we had a sonogram. So she's 11 weeks and 4 days as of yesterday, right? There was some confusion because the baby was measuring at 14 weeks. So the baby is as big as 14 weeks, but she's only 11 weeks. So I immediately started laughing, right? My wife, she didn't take kindly to this information because she said it's a big ass baby.
So
But
it's just big.
so the doctor came in and he was like, no, your due date is correct. You are 11 weeks. The baby is just so big, it looks like she is 14.
Wow.
Wow.
I was like, I'm so sorry.
Well, hold on. You said she. Does that mean you know the sex?
Yes, she.
Okay. Cool.
So we did a chromosome test when we were driving back from Tampa. We found out. So I'm gonna say not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before that is when we found out. So we did a chromosome test. It's not verified yet because we can't see an ultrasound to 18 weeks, but it's 99.9% accurate. So it's a girl. But so she is she's taking out the dad because mom is 5'1". So
oh wow.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow.
That's a big difference in height. That's exciting, man. This is your
Super
first.
excited.
Is this your first child?
yeah, it's my first.
Wow.
Congratulations again.
Thank
You
you.
got a lot going on, bro. Running a business, a new
Just a
baby.
little bit.
It's fun though, man. Like it's like sometimes like I'll take a step back and I'll just take a look at everything, but don't really have time too much to do that, right? Like I'll sit back for a few minutes. Like my thinking time is when I do cardio. So when I'm doing my cardio, that's normally like when I read, when I'm like doing like most of like my thinking. Cause outside of that, like I'm on the go, like I'm working out, I'm doing stuff. Or like even like when I'm working out in between sets, like I'll send emails, right? I try not to do that too much because I realize that if I'm sending emails in between,
Takes away from your workout. Your focus.
exactly. So if I just ignore my phone and just work out, I'm in and out hour and a half, hour, and I'm going about my business rather than constantly answering people's questions or anything like that during. But yeah, it's a fun time. Looking forward to it. Yesterday seeing her stretch in the womb kind of like made me a little emotional seeing my baby girl stretch. And then yeah, it's and then with the drink, and we kind of like her dream is coming true. She wanted to do something that would benefit the family. And hopefully, like the goal is to have, you ask like what the future of Oktane is. The future of Oktane is to pay for college degrees and to pay for the education to help fuel like our children's children. You're
gonna need it because college in 18 years is gonna be pretty damn expensive.
It's expensive now, right?
I know Jay, you get not to get that close, but you're not that far away, Jay. You better be saving, buddy.
Yeah, my son is close. He's got
How
one
old-
more year.
Oh wow, he's 17.
He's gonna be 17 in a
Holy
couple
cow.
days.
Holy
Wow.
cow!
Yeah,
And you're in Jersey, right?
in Jersey, so it's.
Is he picking a state school? He's going out of state.
I think he wants to stay in state, like maybe Rutgers, maybe
Because he'd be right down the block from University.
closer. Yeah, it's about an hour. It's
And
about
it's
an
like
hour.
what, like $7,000 to $10,000. That's much better than going out of state. It's crazy because we have one going away next year, and we're looking at college price. And I said, girl, you better get a scholarship. Like this is insane.
Do you know where she wants to go?
So she wants to go. So her top 3 choices right now is Pitt. She wants to go to Pitt because of the medical program, right? It's either Pitt, Penn State, or Johns Hopkins. So Johns Hopkins is her local option because we're in Maryland. So she that's what she really wants to go. But I told her, I'm like, listen, like we trust you, like we've been preparing you for this moment. If you want to go somewhere else to experience it, go for it. Go have an experience, but we'll always be there to support you. Like the goal is for you to go out and actually enjoy life and have fun, right? So that's when she branched out an extra 2 hours and chose Pitt. Like it's like a 3-hour drive, but I'll take it.
Yeah, that's not bad. Good for you guys. That's great.
Thank you.
I got another business question. Have you guys pursued or thought about going on Shark Tank or applying?
Yes. So we Shark Tank actually reached out to us after Olympia. So after Olympia,
Wow.
so
They reached out to you.
Wow. Yeah, they reached out to me. So they reached out to me on LinkedIn. So after Olympia, we sold out Olympia. So we launched in June, and everything we had, we were done by Olympia. We sold all of our cans. So we were like rebranding, and that's what like that design that's behind Chris. That was a design that we created in December, and then before we even left Olympia, we already had the design because we knew what we wanted to do. And they approached us, and I turned it down, but not in a never, but in a not right now, because they saw the success and they thought we were a lot further along than we were. And I wanted to give it a year. So I told them, let us be on the market for a year first. And then I'll definitely reach back out and we can join. And lo and behold, we hit a year last month. So we might end up revisiting that conversation.
Okay.
Fast.
Did you go through the application process with them?
No, one of the producers reached out.
It's crazy. The application is crazy.
No, I haven't. One of the producers reached out and like we had a conversation, and but I guess have you done it?
So I really haven't talked about it on here because
Breaking news.
I can't. Well, no, I can't say much because they make you sign some documents that you really can't talk about it. But I did go through the application process. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
And it's you and your wife are each going to have to fill out a 15-page personal application, and then the business app is like 70 pages. So just be prepared for a lot of paperwork. That's all I can say. I'm not allowed to say any more than that.
All right, well, that's good to know. Thanks.
There's one of my babies.
Right,
is that Lindley?
This is Lindley. She's because of the background, you can't see her all, but she's a pit blue heeler mix. She's crazy smart too.
She's gorgeous.
She can open up our back sliding doors. She's got that open. She jumps over any fence that's there. And she's pretty sweet.
So you have your own escape artist.
Yes, it definitely is.
No, that's good to know. I'm definitely we're gonna pursue it again. And
do it, man. Do it.
I'm looking forward to it. I feel great. I feel great now, right? Like them reaching out was amazing, but now we're
crazy. Bro, them reaching out is crazy because they told me that 40,000 companies apply each year. So just to get that, recognition that they were interested in you is crazy.
That's good to know. I did not know that.
Yeah. Cool. Well, good luck with that.
Appreciate it.
Got to keep doing the right thing, man.
So we got to wrap up in a couple of minutes here, fellas. We're getting close to time.
Sure. Any other events coming up, ISupreme, as far as what I know you talked about the Buffalo Wings event. I know you just did the Jay Cutler, Olympia. You're going to be spectator. Anything like Wadapalooza, CrossFit, any of those type of events?
So we don't have anything coming up yet. I think for the most part, I'm trying to see like how the pregnancy is and like how she's feeling. So once he found out she was pregnant, we kind of like dialed back on the events, like actually going. But we're going to. We have an expo that we're doing in Richmond, Virginia. And that's through ATAC. So ATAC is having like a trade show where they invite new products and like we're one of the new products for ATAC, and we get to meet with like the big vendors like this, like more 7-Elevens and stuff like that, like a lot of C stores, like a C-store convention. So we are doing that, and then Buffalo Wing Fest, which is Labor Day weekend. We're doing that as well. We're going down to Orlando for Olympia and like as spectators, and we have a few friends competing, so we want to go and support and show some love to them as well. Then after that, we're putting most of our energy towards Expo West, which is happening around the same time as the due date. So hopefully we're still able to travel and like we're still able to actually enjoy it. So like the baby is due in March 3rd. So it's gonna be a bit tricky, but
that's the Arnold
close.
weekend. Yeah.
yeah,
Hey,
that's what I want to do. I want to do the Arnold.
well, not if you're having a baby, you're not doing the Arnold.
Nah, I know, right?
Better stay home.
I know. Right?
What about Expo East? Not something you're interested in, or?
No, listen, we are. I think, but that's in. I want to say like so. I think Expo West is in what, February, right? February or March.
I think it's the weekend
might know.
after the Arnold. So it's like I don't know the exact dates, but say the 9th, 10th, 11th, around
Yes.
that time.
So yeah, like we would love to, like, this is something that we've just kind of like learned about. So yeah, we would.
I was just thinking Expo East because it's closer. It's like I think it's in Philly, so it's like driving distance for you guys.
When is Expo East?
Jay, do you know off the top of your head?
It's coming up.
It's
So
soon.
It'd
I'm
probably
gonna
be
look up.
too soon because you'd have to have your
I thought
inventory
it was,
with.
I thought
the
it was.
natural-
You could still get a
sweetener.
booth because I got hit up. For
Oh,
a
you
booth.
can?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's September 20th, something like in that range.
Okay.
Okay.
It's about a month away.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, September 20th through 23rd.
Yeah.
So they have that. They have the regular expo. It's kind of expensive to have a booth at that. But somebody told me that they have an expo the day before for smaller brands. It's a lot cheaper. And decent amount of buyers still go to that as well.
Yeah, send me the information. Like, even if we can't get a booth, I think it'd be a good thing to go. Like, are you setting up a booth there?
I might do the one the day before. I'm not going to do the full Expo East booth. It's a little too expensive for us, but I might do that one the day before. If not, I'm going as a spectator for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, we're definitely going as a spectator for sure. Like at least to meet people, because there's a lot to gain by just going out there meeting different brands and meeting the buyers and stuff like that.
I do have. I can send an email. It's called Harvest Festival. It's the day before Expo East, and it's a lot less money.
Nice.
That's good to know.
And it's for new brands, like upcoming brands.
Same venue, Eric? It's
same venue. It's in the same place.
venue.
It's just the day before. So it's on, I guess, the 20th or the 19th, the day before.
Yep, I see it right here.
We'll exchange emails and I can send it to you.
Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah, and if you set up a table,
I would love to do an event with you, man. It'd be cool to be at the same event.
I was about to say that. Let's do it. Like, we could definitely make something happen. You're in Jersey, man. Like, you're like 2 hours away.
And I don't mind traveling.
That's
I might be coming to Maryland for a pet expo in January or February. So
I only have one condition, right? The only condition I have is I gotta have you, Chris, and Jason. Like, we like all together. Like we gotta do something. I'll bring like a pull-up bar for Jason, because he looks like he likes to like bang out pull-ups. So I'll bring a pull-up bar.
I love pull-ups.
We have a portable pull-up bar. I'll
That's
bring
funny.
a pull-up bar for him. So he can bang some out. But no, listen, I would love to like do something together. And honestly, it's this organization here that do a lot of stuff with like veterans. They give like emotional support dogs to veterans and stuff like that. I can give you their information. I'm pretty sure like they would love to do some kind of partnership with you as well, since you target pets and like you focus on like the wellness and everything of pets. I think that'd be great for you to connect with them. Like, they're really great people. Like, we sponsored an event with them as well. So and we've donated a lot to their organization. So I think that'd be great for you.
Awesome. Yeah. We'll definitely talk about that. So in sort of in closing, if people want to find Oktane Energy, where can they find you? How do they know about you?
So you go to octaneenergy.com. So that's our website. Or you can go to
Oktane with a K, guys, with a K.
Oktane with
That's
a K.
important.
Okay. Yep.
Right there.
That's
Eric's got
important.
it. Oh yeah, there you go. He's got the
octaneenergy.com, and also same Oktane with a K, Oktane Energy on our Facebook, and same across all platforms. YouTube, Oktane Energy, Facebook, Oktane Energy, Instagram, and we also have Full Octane. You can find us on Amazon as well. So just go to our Oktane Energy store, just type in Oktane Energy drink, and you'll find our store on Amazon as well. And if you're in the DMV area, any place within PG County, we're in majority of the gas stations. Just go and look in the fridge and look for Oktane. If you're in the Sunoco, BP, Shell, Exxon Mobil, Valero, you name it, Marathon, or any of the small shops that's especially within the PG County area, we're there.
Cool. And I did see something. You guys are running a pretty big sale. What's that about?
Yeah, so in the summer sale, 40% off everything on the website. Go and get yourself some Oktane. Typically the cases be around $39. So go and take advantage of the sale, just like Eric said. Everyone has their favorite flavor. Some people like the watermelon kiwi, others like the orange mango. I'm having an orange mango right now, so I do drink my own product. This is my second one today, 100 milligrams of caffeine, so I can have multiple.
Yes.
I had one before my workout. It got me through a 2-hour workout, and now it's getting me me through the night. And luckily for me, it's not too strong, so I'm able to get some sleep after this. Go and enjoy some Oktane. 40% off everything on the website.
Yeah, you guys are gonna love it if you try it. It's delicious.
Well, honored to have you. As I mentioned before, first of all, thank you again for your service and protecting us. We have mad respect for all men and women of service, protecting our country, and first responders and police officers, firemen. So it's an honor just to have you, just on based on that, let alone how we got to know you, all the great things you're doing, all the great things you're about to go to, and again, congratulations again to you on what you're expecting, the little one coming on the way. So that's awesome. And we definitely want to see you get together with you at an event. That'd be awesome. And I think I'm going to take advantage of your offer on your site as well. Get myself a case.
Yep. Since we
Keep
couldn't
it-
find it at 7-Eleven. Yeah, so we'll get it right online. It'll be
Sure,
easier.
you don't have Oktane? Are you sure?
Hey, that's good that you asked, though. That's great.
Keep
that you
asking.
asked.
That's gonna force them to reach out to us like that. Like that's
Yep.
definitely
Right.
happening for us as well. So keep at it. We appreciate it.
Probably and probably I'm a big concert goer. I mean, probably even showing up to the right venues depending on the music that you like, and having that that booth out in the parking lot, and you're handing people drinks. They're recovering or they need to get energy to go to the show. I see you being perfect for that too.
All for it, man. Like
Yeah,
we don't shy away from anybody. We love everybody. Want everyone to enjoy the drink, no matter what your background is or whatever you're going to do. We're here for you.
Thank you. ISupreme Watkins, everyone, from Oktane Energy Drink, the natural energy drink. You're going to hear a lot more about them. First woman owned, first couple owned. Everyone's hitting bicep shots. It's unbelievable.
That was for Eric. That was for Eric. I had
Yes.
to-
Good, man.
There we go.
He's got some goods there, man.
Yes. Love it. Love it.
Sponsored by Oktane right there. So
Fueled by
again,
Oktane.
definitely check us out on Jim Guys Podcast. Like I said, Jim Guys Pod on Instagram, Jim Guys Podcast on YouTube. Check out octaneenergy.com. Really looking forward to trying the product, and honored again to have you as our guest. Really learned a lot of great things about you, and looking forward to following you in your future.
Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen.
Yes,
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your story.
and thank you everyone for following. See you on the next episode.